everyone, welcome to my channel Fragrance with Steve. Thank you so much for tuning in. In today's video I'm going to present you 10 fragrances, 10 designer fragrances that are very much suited for cold weather. These will be great choices if you're looking for strong performers for the colder months that will get you great compliments as well. Fragrances that are going to last, that are going to be very comforting to wear, very warm, very inviting, very nice overall. These are going to be designer fragrances, so they will be quite easy to go out and find in department stores and malls and perfumeries nearby. Without further ado, guys, let's start out with the first one, and this is by the house of Christian Dior. A lot of people know the original Eau Sauvage from the 60s. It's a very great citrusy, bright, refreshing scent, very masculine. Well, they have amped it up in this version. This is the Parfum. It has a lovely myrrh, a balsamic, ambery core next to the citrus, and also it's still heavy on the vetiver. Very great in terms of projection and longevity as well. Check this one out if you haven't heard from it, because it's one of the best fragrances in designer land, and not too many people talk about this one. So, first one on this list, Eau Sauvage Parfum. The next one, guys, by the house of Christian Dior. Once again, I have just done a review on the original Fahrenheit Eau de Toilette, and this is Fahrenheit Absolute. This is an Eau de Toilette Intense, or Intense, as you can see here. This is basically amped up in terms of concentration. They could have mentioned Eau de Parfum on the bottle because it's really strong. It lasts a very good amount of time, certainly like 8 to 10 hours, even more sometimes. Projection is great, and the smell is just outrageous. This is my scent of the day. I'm wearing it right now, man. I wish you could smell this. Balsamic as well. It has beautiful elimine note, but it's also smoky. There's a little bit of oud in there, but not skanky, not medicinal, just warm. Also incense. It's just so unfortunate they discontinued this one. Alright, without wanting to hype this fragrance up, if you can find this around, please look at it, please sample it. You will see what I'm talking about. It's a great fragrance. Don't go buy it for a ridiculous amount of money. I wouldn't suggest that, but just if you can get your hands on it, try it out, because it's one of the best in the collection of Christian Dior. Fahrenheit Absolute. Next, second one on this list. The next is by the house of Viktor and Rolf, and this is the original Spicebomb, the Eau de Toilette. As you can see from the juice color, I have an older bottle. I haven't smelled the latest bottles, so I can't really inform you on reformulations, yes or no. People are saying it's been getting worse in terms of longevity and projection. Other people say that it still projects great, it still lasts. I can just tell you that what it used to be, or what it was intended to be, the original Spicebomb is a great scent. I love the pink pepper over the tobacco. It's sweet, it's masculine, but it's still fresh in a way. I don't know if that makes sense. I would say this is great for the winter especially, but also for fall and spring when it's a colder day. You can definitely rock this juice as well. If you're having longevity issues with the new formulation, then you could check out the extreme version of Spicebomb. However, it's not just an amped up variant on Spicebomb. There's more tobacco in there. There's a honey note. But it's overall a different scent in my opinion. Also really nice. People compare that one to Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford and so on. I don't get that comparison at all, but I can see it being a great winter scent. So the third one on this list, Spicebomb by Viktor and Rolf. Fourth fragrance in this list, and I couldn't leave this out. I know I've been talking about this fragrance quite a lot on my channel. This is by Yves Saint Laurent, the original Kouros. As you can see from the silver shoulder trim on my bottle, this is an older bottles from the early 2000s to be precise. I have a bottle from 1991, I think, as well. But still today, if it's white around the shoulder here, if your bottle looks different to this and it has a white shoulder, let's call it that, still a great scent. It's a little bit more soapy maybe, there's a little bit less of that animalic civet in there, but still such a great scent, nuclear in terms of performance. And yes, it's a little bit daring, but it's just an amazing fragrance. There's so much going on in this. One that I couldn't, wear as a day-to-day one and only signature scent, but still, man, it's so great. When I do wear it, it's one of a kind actually. Number 5 is by Thierry Mugler, and this one is Pure Havane. Pure Havane, of course, being compared a lot to a popular niche fragrance by Xerjoff, namely Naxos. Pure Havane, however, is more heavy on that cherry vibe. The pipe tobacco also feels a little bit more sweet due to that fruity note in there. Overall, just a gorgeous fragrance that will deliver you a lot of great compliments. Projection, longevity, everything just works in this fragrance. I enjoy this a lot in the colder weather, next to the original Angel Man, which I also really like. But if I would have to choose one out of the two, I'd say go for Pure Havane. Alright, now number 6 on this list is by the house of Loccitane. This one is called Eau de Boo. Guys, this is an inexpensive fragrance. I've mentioned it in one of my first videos on the channel. Put a link here so you can check that one out. It's quite a funny old video. Those were recommendations for winter as well, and it's returning in this list here today. Eau de Boo. Wow, cypress, vanilla, there's woodiness, there's that green element, but also, like I said, the vanilla is very warm, it's very uplifting. It's I'd say it's unisex, but maybe due to that strong green side of the composition, I'd say it's a little bit more to the masculine side. Very great in terms of longevity and performance as well, and just overall really inexpensive. So for what you're paying, it's a great fragrance. I mean, the quality is there. There's no synthetic edge to it whatsoever. I might have to add one thing though. The opening is maybe just a tad too strong. So might be off-putting just a little bit. For those of you who haven't smelled it, give it some time. Maybe go out and try it a second time or a third time before purchasing it. But just lovely fragrance by Loccitane Eau de Boo. Alright guys, number 7 on this list is by the house of Guerlain. I mentioned it in my top fall list, and it's returning here once again. L'Homme Idéal de Eau de Parfum. I really think that this is the best fragrance in the collection of L'Homme Idéal de Eau de Parfum. That is, I think it's the best concentration, the formula, everything just works. It's wow. If you want to know more about this fragrance, check it out, my top fall list, as I talked about it a bit more. Wow, I really like this fragrance. So number 7 in this list, L'Homme Idéal de Eau de Parfum. Alright, number 8 is by the house of Van Cleef Arpels, and this one is called Midnight in Paris. Lovely fragrance. Unfortunately, it's quite hard to find this. I think it was also discontinued. This is the Eau de Parfum. You also have an Eau de Toilette. I don't think they're that different in terms of scent, but they are just a little different in concentration. So this is supposedly a little bit longer lasting, but projection might be a little bit better with the Eau de Toilette. Nevertheless, this still, people will smell it on you. It's an arm's length fragrance. It wraps around you like a beautiful leathery, powdery jacket. There's some iris in here, just like in Dior Homme Intense. Well, people compare it a lot with that fragrance actually. I think it's quite different. This is a little bit better blended in my opinion. Dior Homme Intense can be quite feminine to a lot of people due to the heavy iris note in there. Very romantic fragrance as well. If it's cold on Valentine's Day and I don't know what to wear, this might as well be my pick for that day. Really nice fragrance. Check it out if you can. Don't go pay out a ridiculous amount of money for it, but it's, you know, I have to mention it's a great one. Alright guys, next one on this list is by the house of Tom Ford. This one is called Black Orchid. A lot of you know that this was a scent worn a lot by Michael Jackson, and for a guy with such a complex, intriguing personality, I'd say this is a great choice. It's very, very complex, it's very warm, it's mysterious, it's might be considered romantic as well, especially if you smell it in the air. It's quite an inviting scent, but I could see it also be quite offensive to some people because it's just a blend of everything they could find. They just smashed it in this bottle. I'd say it's bad, you know, it's a bad thing to say, but it's like a garbage bag of fragrance notes. And yet somehow it just works, it just smells nice. It's very heavy on the patchouli though, and it has a lot of sweet and fruity elements to it. Great one to check out for the colder weather, but try it out before you buy it. Black Orchid by Tom Ford. And then we come to the last one on this list, and of course I couldn't leave this one out. Yves Saint Laurent's La Nuit de l'Homme. Cardamom, lavender, cedar, vetiver, probably a little bit of vanilla, maybe just a hint. It's fresh spicy, it's warm spicy, it's just such a great fragrance. This is a 2012 bottle. It will probably last me my lifetime. I only need like 4 to 5 sprays and it will last me the entire day. I really, really like this fragrance. It was one that changed the fragrance game back in the early 2009, I think it was. It made way for sweeter fragrances and the masculine side of designer releases. And now they have just, in my opinion, they took it a little bit too far. Current releases are mostly sweet, 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 very, very sweet for men. I'd say in this fragrance it's still about right. It still has that spiciness from the cardamom, that aromatic quality from the lavender. Really a fragrance that will bring you a fair share amount of compliments. But also, I mean, I don't wear my fragrances for compliments alone. I just really like this one a lot. So there you go guys. These were my 10 recommendations for winter 2018/2019. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up if you did. And I hope to see you back on the next video. Hope you have a really nice day. Take care. Bye bye.